I just got back from seeing Wavves at Black Cat in DC. As far as I can remember, the show started off on time. The first opener was a local band from DC called Glue Factory. I've got some footage of their bassist here. Overall, they had a pretty classic sound and I really enjoyed their set. Probably the most memorable part of their set actually wasn't in their playing, but after about the third song or so, the singer introduced them as Glue Factory, and someone from the back just shouted, "I love glue!" And immediately, without hesitation, the singer responded, "We're Horse Factory." And that just caught me so off guard with how quickly he responded and just how dry and random it was. And that was, yeah, it was hilarious. So yeah, Glue Factory, good band. The second opener, the official opener on the tour, was a band called Harmless. And if that name sounds familiar to you, but you're not quite sure where you can remember it from, they have a viral TikTok song called Swing Lynn. We've got some footage up here. You've almost definitely heard that song, but you probably haven't heard anything else from them. It didn't seem to matter to them though. They closed off with that song, but their whole set before that was a variety of new tracks mixed in with some old, and they really demonstrated that their sound should not be confined or classified to that one little realm of Swing Lynn. Overall, there were a couple hiccups in their set, what with gear and things like that, but they handled it very well, and they had a lot of banter with each other and the crowd, and they really warmed up the crowd in that respect. Their sound is not very similar to Wavves at all, but they were very charismatic up there, and they obviously had a lot of fun, and yeah, I would recommend checking out more of their stuff. I think we'll probably be seeing more of them in the very near future. Now for Wavves. They took the stage with a lot of energy, and Nathan was already sweating. They brought with them an open bottle of vodka and a bunch of beers. They started off the set with way too much, which I think was a really good way to kick it off. It brought a lot of energy that may have been dissipated in the time it took between Harmless to get off the stage and for Wavves to get on. It was a really great way to inject some more energy back into the crowd. They had their set lists up on stage there, but they almost immediately strayed from it and played whatever they wanted, which I think was cool, and it was surprising, especially for people right up front who had like already seen the set list and had taken pictures of it and were trying to predict what was going to happen next. It was really cool and just gave a very relaxed on-stage presence. There was one point during the set between songs where Nathan just said, "All right, we're going to split the crowd down the middle, and when the drums come in on the next track, the sides are going to come together." And I don't think I've been to a show where a singer has actually orchestrated a mosh pit, but that kind of turned the entire crowd into one. And it was, needless to say, very exciting. But they put on a good show. Very long set, but it didn't feel like it. It was just pretty exciting and action-packed throughout the whole thing. Something that I love about the live experience of Wavves is that they've been a band for a while now, over a decade. And you can listen to their studio recordings, and they've definitely come a long way. The newer stuff sounds a lot more polished, but something that's very much a signature of their sound is that there's always this raw edge there that's really present from their first album to their most recent one. And I think that's what makes a band like Wavves have such a great staying power, because it's consistency while still changing, maturing, and kind of staying relevant. Probably my favorite song from the new album that is a very good example of that aspect of their sound is, of course, the title track, Hideaway. It's this 3/4 track, which is really cool, gives it sort of a different sound. And it has little elements of the guitar echoing the lyrical melody, which is a very nice touch. Now, they brought that edge to the stage, and that is something that I think maybe subconsciously audience members just absolutely love to see. Obviously, there's some familiarity with the songs they're playing because everyone's heard the studio recordings, but it's really cool to hear that character in their sound carry over even in a live setting, and I think that aspect of it was awesome. They finished off the night with, of course, Green Eyes, one of their most popular songs, and after that they left the stage, and there was no encore, which was a little bit surprising. People were expecting that because that's kind of just what you do at these shows, but I didn't really mind it that much. I think it was okay. I think by the end of their set, it was just a very nice way to tie it all together, and leaving the stage at that time just kind of felt right. It was a good way to close out the set. Now, it wasn't a sold-out show, but it didn't really feel like it. And I think, especially coming off of a pandemic and having not toured for over a year, Wavves did what they could with what they had, and it was a great product. Overall, it was a good show. If you like what you've been seeing, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.